Thank you all so much, and I apologize. My presentation will be a lot shorter than I intended it to be just because of time conflict. But I really appreciate this opportunity to be here. It's a pleasure to speak to you all. My name is Solomon Bua. I am a clinical research consultant with the INPDR. So, of course, I want to start by just saying thank you so much to the Australian NPC Disease Foundation. I think this is a great opportunity for us to speak, and it's my first time here, so I'm super excited. I am hopeful that maybe next year I will be there in person to present for you all. So, just a little bit about the International Niemann-Pick Disease Registry. A lot of times you're going to hear people refer to us as the registry or the INPDR. We are a community led organization. We have a database for ASMD and NPC. We are governed by a board of patient and patient representatives, clinicians, and researchers. We're funded by grants and industry subscriptions. We have a platform to facilitate and support meaningful Niemann-Pick disease research, and that's something that I will be talking about a little down the road. We also do have a separate patient-reported database as well as a clinician-reported database. So those two are separate, and I will talk a little bit about that as well down the road. We are guided by a scientific advisory committee, which is very active in supporting our scientific work, as well as we're supporting research through a range of services and controlled access to data. That's one thing that we want to push. As much as the data comes in, we want the data to go right out for meaningful research. So our mission is to document the Niemann-Pick disease patient experience to advance research and improve health outcomes. Our vision is the creation and ongoing development of a Niemann-Pick disease specific and comprehensive international data source, which benefits patients by one, increasing understanding, two, encouraging efficient and timely diagnosis, enabling progress in research and clinical trials, as well as facilitating the development of therapeutic interventions. So that's really the vision of the registry in its essence. Our aim is to facilitate the advancement of research to resolve sickness amongst individuals affected by Niemann-Pick disease by developing and maintaining a high quality registry. So this slide shows you the clinical research, the CRD development, enrollment, sorry, patients enrolled in the CRD per country. So the CRD is the clinician reported database. So here we have about 450 patients that are currently enrolled, 100 ASMD patients, as well as 350 patients with NPC. We have about 23 open sites across 12 countries in 4 continents. And down below, you can see on the right-hand side, that's all the sites that are part of the registry right now. And that leads me to exciting news, which is our latest site to join the registry, which is the Royal Melbourne Hospital in Australia. So thank you so much to Dr. Mark Walter Fang and Courtney Harris, who have been so supportive throughout the ethical approval, the submission, and all the reviews. We're super appreciative, and we're excited that the INPDR is now part of your site, or rather, your site is now part of the INPDR. So I think the next steps would be data entry, and we're in conversations with the site to start getting data in. So we're super excited. And our goal is to expand throughout Australia to get a lot more clinicians involved and get sites up and running. So here you can see just a snapshot about the onboarded sites and sites in the pipeline. The sites in green are the countries that are currently participating in the registry, and those that are highlighted in yellow are sites that are currently going through the onboarding process as well as in the pipeline. So let's talk a little bit about the patient-reported database. That's what we call the PRD. Patient-reported information is not collected in the CRD, but it is collected directly from patients through the patient-reported database. In this database, there is no direct involvement with clinicians. Patients actually get to create their own logins, go into the patient-reported database, and enter some quality of life information in the questionnaires. We are working to link the clinician reported database and the patient reported database so that we're able to track that the same patient is the same patient, well, a patient is the same patient in both the clinician reported database and the patient reported database. The PRD is currently in the English language only. However, we're looking to roll out to other languages this year. So that's something that we're actively working on. I would also like to announce the first US PRD community webinar occurred last month, and it was very well attended. We had quite a few participants who attended, and it was just a session to sensitize patients about the patient reported database, as well as troubleshoot some issues that they may be having. However, we are going to be having more webinars that will come up here soon, and I think Australia would definitely be on our schedule to have a webinar for the patient reported database. So for the patient reported database, here's the enrollment. Currently, most of the patients are in the US. However, there are patients throughout the world in different countries. And I would like to announce there are 5 patients in Australia that are currently part of the patient reported database. So here the point is small action, big change. We're looking for more patients to join the registry, either through their clinicians, through the clinician reported database, or by themselves through the patient reported database. So if you scan the QR code, it'll take you directly to the login page for the patient reported database, where as a patient or a patient family member, you can create your own profile and actually get that patient enrolled in the patient reported database. And of course, if there's any questions, you can always reach out to me. You can reach out to any registry staff, and we'll be very glad to help support you getting on to the patient reported database. So here's just a little highlight of the current research supported by the data that comes into the registry. I'm not going to read every single one of these studies, but I just want to highlight the first one. It's a study being conducted by Mr. Jackson Poutney. He is a PhD student at Aston University in the United Kingdom. He's doing a quality of life study in patients with Niemann-Pick disease type C and their carers. And down below, you can see also some pending projects. But a little bit more about Jackson's study. He's doing a qualitative research study investigating quality of life experience in people with NPC and their caregivers. The participants are asked about impacts of diagnosis, symptoms, treatment, and the COVID-19 pandemic on quality of life of persons with NPC and caregivers. About 17 individuals were interviewed as part of his study. The participants were from the UK, US, and Republic of Ireland. So the report is currently being written up for publication in the British Journal of Health Psychology. And this work, of course, is being supported by the IMPDA, IMPDR, NNPDF, and NPUK. And of course, a full report will be released, and more information about this will be coming pretty soon. But I would also like to mention that he's also looking into validating the Niemann-Pick disease type C quality of life questionnaires originally developed by Aston University. So there's a lot of work that's coming on his part, and we're looking forward to seeing the outcomes. So here, from the data that comes into the registry and a lot of the research that's ongoing, here are some recent publications. We have posters, peer-reviewed publications, as well as reports. Our sincere thanks goes to all patients and their families, all the clinicians that are enrolled, whose sites are enrolled in the registry, the experts, stakeholder groups, scientific advisory board, as well as NPUK, INPDA, NNPDF, and of course, the Australian Niemann-Pick Disease Foundation for having us today. Thank you so much, and I will take questions.